Hi, welcome to video 2 or part 2 on the pronunciation lesson and the meanings and the usages of the words bath and bathe. In video 1 I taught you and explained to you why we say bath in British English and not bath in British English. Let me add something small to that part and say that in British English, when a vowel comes before a consonant cluster, you have to pronounce that vowel often in a long form. What's a consonant cluster? You know a cluster. A cluster is a pile of something. So we have a cluster of schools. See how I said it? Cluster of, not cluster of schools. Your English wouldn't flow. So you have a cluster of schools. I've just done catenation. I've linked my consonants to my vowels. So cluster of, that's our linking. Cluster of, then cluster of schools. That's our linking. So now, if you have a cluster of schools, then it means that the school perhaps starts from crèche to KG up to primary 1, right up to JHS, then maybe secondary school. So all that different categorizations of school, is at one place, and that is what we call a cluster. All right. Now, in the word bath, you have a cluster of consonants because the consonant T is together with the consonant H. Okay, so that's a cluster, a pile of something. So we have two pile of consonants. All right. And in British English, in standard British English, the rule will say that because of the pile of consonants, let your vowel be long. So you say cast and not cast, because in cast you have s and s as a cluster of consonant. You say laugh and not laugh. Okay, so I'm laughing at the cast. So I'm in the bath laughing at the cast. At the cast. Okay, I nearly said cast in an American way. So that's it for you. And the meaning of why, the reason behind we elongating certain vowels when they come after a consonant cluster, and we call that the broad A, or the long A. Wherever you meet it, it is also called a trap bath split. So is A as in trap, as the Americans would put it, but in bath that same A turns to R, because in trap there's only one P, but in how you call it, in bath there are two consonants over there. Now in American English, bath is always a noun. I'm coming to the usage aspect of it. If you're speaking American English or if you're talking to an American, have this in mind. Bath is always a noun, and bathe is always a verb. To the Americans, bathing is a verb form of bath. So you can't have bathing in their English. It has to be bathing. All right. So you may write it bathing, but in your pronunciation, because it's a verb form, you have to pronounce the one as bathing and not bathing, because Americans don't have bath as the verb form as a verb form is always a noun. In British English, however, bath can be either a verb or a noun. I repeat, in British English, the word bath can be used as a verb and as a noun. Watch this. If I said to you, I'm going to have a bath, or I'm in the bath, you see, the bath could be the whole thing, the whole jacuzzi or whatever it is, the sink or whatever it is with the water and everything. That's the bath, where you go to bath, or where you go to take a bath. That place itself is a bath. Okay, so I took a bath. It is only nouns that pick determinants and articles. A bath. Okay, so in these sentences, I took a bath, I'm in the bath. Bath is used as a noun. But if I say I went to bath, that is an infinitive, a full infinitive form. To bath is a verb form. I am bathing is also a verb form. All right, and so in British English, you can use bathing as a verb and also as a noun. Bathing still exists as a verb form. However, in British English, bathing has a different meaning. If you went to the swimming pool and you took a swim, that is bathing in British English. So in British English, to bathe is tantamount to swimming in a pool, where you don't add sponge and soap and all of that. Okay? Or if you just wet something with water, if you just pour something on water on something, you bathe that thing. Okay, so bathing in British English is to pour water on something or to swim in a pool just to refresh yourself or for pleasure, but not necessarily to do the typical soap and water and sponge thing as we do in bathing. Okay, so this is the difference I wanted to show you in the usage of bathing and bathing in the British context and in the American context. In some, if you speaking in a British accent or to a Brit, you have to go bathing, okay? Bath, and they'll get you clearly and easily. If it's an American, use your short bath. Here in Ghana, we use bath. You're okay. Now, if you want to say to a Brit that you just want to take, you just want to refresh yourself in a pool, don't tell them you're going to bath. You're going to take a bathe, all right? or you're going bathing, right? That's just to swim. If you tell the same thing to an American, it means a different thing altogether. Bathing wouldn't mean going to the pool to them. It would mean going to the bathroom to take a shower. Thank you. And send your comments coming and let's get interactive. See you in the next video.